Nation Network. What's going on? Hey, it's CVV, Chris Van Vliet, and you guys are crushing it. I want to send you a big congratulations on the 2,000 subscribers. 2K22 is unbelievable, and I love that everybody's kind of jumping on board here and realizing how great the content that you're putting out is. So for the community, a big thank you for being part of the Nation Network, and you guys are just getting started. Woo! Keep it going.
This Tuesday night, September 20th, the nation will be invaded when TNA Knockouts Champion O.D.B joins us live.
That's right, Jessie Kresa is O.D.B, one dirty biatch.
From the past to the present.
This was a lot of fun to write, guys. I had so much fun going back into my life, remembering stuff that I forgot.
From pro wrestler to author.
I'm so excited for you guys to read my story. Now, I don't have a sad story. I really don't.
Ask your questions and get your answers.
I have a hard-working story.
And grab a copy of her brand new book.
It's just a little girl that followed her dreams, big or small. I made them happen. So please pick up my book today, guys. Jessie Kresa is the O.D.B, one dirty bitch.
Join us this Tuesday night, right here on the Nation Network.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Nation Network. I am Vince McSham, your host. This is what we are now referred to as The Rub. And tonight, I don't think we need to drag this out too long because we know exactly. We've been talking about this. Former TNA Impact Knockouts Champion. She's also been on the Ring of Honor card as well as AEW and a whole bunch of other stuff we're going to be talking about here in the very near future. As well as that, she is now an accomplished author, and we're going to be talking about this book as well. Please help me give a big round of applause. Welcome to the one, the only Jessie Kresa, otherwise known as the O.D.B.
What's up, Vince? How's it going?
It is going. So glad to have you join us here and get to talk about all the stuff that's going on. Now, we go back a little ways, and things have changed, and you've picked up some hardware since the last time we talked in person.
Yeah, we found each other at a campground.
There you go. So you went from wearing title belts. You've got a new title belt, though. Kind of goes around your ring or a finger or something like that, right?
Oh, yeah, this thing. Bam.
Yeah, this thing. So congratulations.
Thank you. Lots happening in less than 2 years. But
What a fun 2 years it's been, huh?
Yeah, I'm ready for some more shit to come.
Easy now. Don't even think about it.
Shit.
Oh my goodness. Well, I've done some homework here and just kind of to fill the fans in on stuff that they may or may not already know. So you and I almost share the birthday together. We're only off by 10 days. I'm on the 16th.
Oh, and I'm 6'6".
There you go.
6'16". That's a lot of sixes.
Yeah, well, I was born in 66, so yeah.
Oh, shit.
That might explain me. I don't know.
6'16", 60. Whoa.
Yeah. Never comes in on the lottery, I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, damn.
Maple Grove, Minnesota. What was that like? Is that
I
where you're?
I grew up in the suburbs. You know, my parents actually built that house that they live in still till this day, 48 years later. And it was great. Like, we grew up, it was kind of like the Griswolds.
Nice. And did you have the truckster?
Yes, we had a Ram Charger.
It's almost the same.
That took us to Wally World. So.
I'm just glad you got the reference.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like, I tell people where I grew up was also very suburban and reminded me a lot of the Wonder Years when I saw that TV show. Would you say yours was about the same as that?
I would say so. All the neighbors got along. My parents drank beer in the garage. All the kids rode on their bikes. And it's the good old days.
Yes. And we would get, like, when the family was all get together at someone's garage, we go to the empty house and drink beer in that garage.
Oh, yeah.
Knowing nobody be home for hours.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, you know. So long before you got to wrestling, there were other stops along the way as you're growing up. I understand you did some ice hockey?
Yes, I was on the very first ever girls ice hockey in 1994. And I had no idea how to skate. I just told my dad, I'm like, I want to be on the hockey team. And so I got my uncle's pad, everything, skates, and went to go try out. Well, when I first tried out, I left my skate guards on. So I, fell flat on my ass right away. I was like, oh, this is going to be great. And I didn't really know how to stop either. So I kept running into the boards. I was like, you know what? You guys need a goalie. So then I became MVP and captain my senior year. So
this was a school team.
Yeah, it was a high school. So I did my junior year and senior year, and then I ended up playing in college for a couple of years.
Wow.
Until I got kicked out, but that's another story.
I'll bet. Did you try out for American Gladiator?
No, I always wanted to be an American Gladiator. But I always loved the toughness of the look. I didn't want to be that jacked with some of the ladies, but I would watch it every Saturday morning. I was like, oh, man, those girls can kick some ass. And I was into wrestling, obviously.
I think you would have absolutely killed it as American Gladiator. It's like as soon as I read that quote, I was like, oh, my God, yes. That
would have been badass.
There would have been some bruises to be had, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
So when it comes to turning to the world of professional wrestling, what is the thing that did it? Where was the first match you ever saw, or what made you say, holy cow, what is this? I need this.
Well, being born and raised in Minnesota, you got the AWA.
Yep.
And you had a lot of legends come out of Minnesota. So, you got the Road Warriors, Mr. Perfect, Rick Rude, the Gagnes, Crush the Bruiser. And you had all of that, and my parents would take us to shows, especially local shows. The very first wrestler I met was Jumpin' Jim Bronzell from the Killer Bees. It was the very first wrestler I met, and then we used to go stalk the wrestlers because we knew what gym they worked out in. And then I got to meet Barry Darso, Smash from Demolition, and it was just kind of we just loved it, And then one day I'm just like, that's it. That's what I want to do. But they're just larger than life. But I didn't realize that there's really no normal people in wrestling, so.
It's the old saying we had even at Disney, you don't have to be crazy to work here, but it sure as hell helps. So when you finally decide that you're going to do this, who's your main trainer? Where do you go?
Well, I looked up to Google, and Eddie Sharkey popped up. And he's the one that trained. He actually found the Road Warriors at a bar and trained them to become wrestlers. So he trained all those guys, and then I was kind of the last person that made it that he trained. But it was in a warehouse. It was an old garage in St. Louis Park, Minnesota. I'd literally go there from 4 in the afternoon till about 10 o'clock at night, Monday through Friday. And then I was the only chick there and just hung out with the guys, and they beat me up. I'd kick their ass because I was bigger than most of them. But yeah, definitely paid some dues there, but it was fun. That journey was a hell of a journey, but I look back at those days, I'm like, damn, those were fun.
And when you talk about how hard it was, under those terms and the, the grind that goes on in a gym like that, and you compare it to the Performance Center in Orlando, some of these, that's what I'm saying. And you hear it a lot from the folks that have been in the industry a while, especially, is that some of the current generation doesn't have that hardness to them and that toughness to them. And how much of that do you think can directly be attributed to that type of training versus today's type of training?
Yes, I get that question a lot. It's just because the people have it very easy now. You got social media, you got so many places that you can work at to be a wrestler. You can make a living just being independent. That's great. I love it, but it's so different from back in my day. It was either TNA or WWE. Those are the only two places to go, and now it's they have these big performance centers. Even when I was at O.D.B in Louisville, it wasn't nothing fancy. They kicked our ass, and they weren't, it didn't have. I've never been to NXT, but it looks pretty nice.
Yeah. OVW, now that was the NXT of its time.
Yep.
Was that back when they were under contract with WWE?
Yep, and I was one that wasn't signed. So I was there with all the contracted people because Al Snow kind of snuck me in, and Dan, they kept pushing for me to get in WWE, but I just wasn't their cup of tea. But I was wrestling, helped like Maurice and Alicia Fox. Beth Phoenix was there. Mickey just got brought up. Melina just got brought up, and Natty Neidhart was there for a little bit, and it was a good time. It was good, but my ass wasn't getting paid.
Well, you know what they say, the experience is worth the money sometimes, and
yeah, it definitely turned out. So yeah.
Yeah, and wrestling, I can't think of any other sport in the world where it's almost understood, and again, that's where this generation doesn't necessarily maybe get it, that you pay these dues. You hear these stories of, I'm getting paid $25 a night if the promoter doesn't screw me over and get nothing, and I'm still going to go back tomorrow because I have another match.
Yeah. I remember getting a hot dog and a handshake back in the Nashville days at the fairgrounds, and it's like, I remember getting my envelope and like, sorry, you're $20 short, or don't have gas money, because all of us girls would travel together, Oh, and it was just, it's good times. And I could go back and tell you what promoters owe me money. Some of them I don't even think are even around anymore. Yeah.
Now, that'll all be in the book, I'm sure, right?
Yeah.
There you go. So we know you as O.D.B. in your wrestling career, but you also had other names like Jenna Jameson, Jessica
I don't
Jones.
think I had Jenna Jameson, did I?
Jameson, not Jameson. Jameson. That's what came up in my research anyway.
Oh boy.
So.
Well, I remember the one I had because I worked for Harley Race.
Yeah.
And he didn't like O.D.B. One Dirty Bitch. He did not like it. So he's like, use your real name. I wanted to be Jessica. And then he's like, pick a last name. I'm like, I picked Dalton because I love the movie Roadhouse.
That's what I was thinking as soon as you said the name.
Yep, it was Jessica Dalton for him. So, yeah. And then Poison came from, I worked for Burt Prentice down in Nashville, and he didn't want to use O.D.B. So then Abyss was there, and he's like, well, don't you like Bret Michaels? Call her Poison. And I'm like, really, bitch? So I was Poison for, I don't know, a here and there.
Yeah, I was getting to that name next. It was on my list. So you were basically the same character with just these different names, though?
Yeah, just random names. Literally, these names lasted for a night. They weren't even like, yeah.
So you make it to TNA, and this is back with Dixie Carter running the show?
Yep, I was there in the very beginning, just hanging out backstage when it was a Wednesday pay-per-view.
I have all of them.
In the picture. So the old, when Jeff Jarrett and Jerry Jarrett were there, and then Dixie came along, and then in 2007 is when they started the knockout division. So 2007 is when I, met Dixie and all that fun stuff.
Those were definitely some. Once that division kicked in, they had some really exciting matches early on, and the talent roster there. Even like today, I tell people today, the only program I can literally watch start to finish today is Impact. I'll watch a lot of the other ones on fast forward, and I'll stop for this promo, or I'll watch a little of this match. But so far as just hitting play and sitting down, it's Impact, because to me, they get it. They've got great storytelling, great writing. Characters are realistic, not over the top.
Yep.
And you don't have to have a heel and a baby face. You can have two of one or two of the other and still have a phenomenal match, and people can shake hands or people can smash each other with weapons. You just get a full gamut of pro wrestling.
It too, because they're all those guys have been around for 15 to 20 plus years. The guys have been. The women are still kind of new, but they've still been around. And they all work. They all work their ass off. Like, they're all like legit workers and wanna, and they don't care about the, just because, everyone thinks, the WWE is, sometimes the grass ain't always greener. I think it's good to be able to be you, and Impact is the place where they let you be yourself and develop that character, and they just
come across as they're having a good time.
Yes,
I
exactly.
think that's probably
That's
the
the
best
key.
way to put it.
Yeah.
And when they were a few weeks ago back over at the place I work at, just seeing them like before the doors open and everybody's in the ring and going over this and going over that, you could just see there was a camaraderie there that I dare say at least one major promotion probably doesn't have that at the moment.
Yeah.
So, and it's not easy. I mean, you got a locker room of 30 egos, 40 egos. I mean,
I've seen that shit. But yeah, in fact, even when I was there, the locker room was amazing. That was probably one of my favorite things. We actually looked forward to like being on the road, and it wasn't like walking on eggshells. Like everyone was. Doesn't matter if you were on the top of the card or just a person that was coming in for a tryout. Like everyone was cool. There was no egos. Like, and we had some big ass stars there. But all those top guys that came in, they wanted to help us. They wanted to help the youngins, and that's what they're there to do. Make some money and then help the promotion and help build new stars.
So, what do you attribute the fact that the locker room was so positive when you see so many other ones, even if they're positive for a while, then all of a sudden some meltdown takes place. Next thing you know, everyone's at odds with each other. It's amazing to me because, again, Impact today, you look at it and the vibe and being there for a couple of days with them, I just felt like everybody was really happy doing what they're doing, where they were doing it.
Yeah, because like back in the day, you had like locker room leaders, back in the day, and like everyone now is so like focused on themselves, I think, and like if they're over on social media, checking their Twitter, they're all on the phones on the monitor. Like after our matches, we sat our asses down and watched every match. We didn't have our phones. Like I think I had a flip phone back in my day, and in fact, we weren't taking selfies. We weren't like. So I think we only had Twitter back then. We weren't worried about that, and now it's like that's all they're focused on. It's like, oh, how many likes did I? Who liked my match tonight? I'm like, who gives a fuck? Like,
it's not about you.
Yeah, exactly.
So you have
Sit your ass down and learn from others.
Yeah, and you can always. I mean, whatever. I mean, I coached basketball for years, and the same logic.
Yeah.
I would tell people learn from the other team. I mean, if there's something they do well, pick up on it. And learn from them. The day you don't go somewhere and try to become better at whatever it is you do, then why'd you bother?
Right? Oh, totally. Yep.
The worst enemy you have is yourself when you think you know it all.
Yes, and you don't.
And you never will. That's a beautiful thing about life. You should be learning up to the last minute.
Right?
Shouldn't have jumped off that cliff. Damn it. The Knockouts Championship. You were tied to Cody Deaner at the time. That seemed like a fun partnering between the two of you guys.
He was good because he was all about the character and getting what needed to be over. And then when me and him finally wrestled for the title, he didn't care if I was a chick. Like we made it work where it made sense for us to, kick each other's ass. But he wasn't like afraid to put me over. Unlike some guys are like, oh, I can't get beat by a chick. I'm like, relax. Like, you're not. No, he was awesome to work with. Yeah, he was. And we still talk, so he's one of my good friends, and he's still kicking ass. Shit, he's like Dick Clark. The guy looks the same. Right? He even looks better now.
I'm saying a few of them I can say that about. It's like, damn, man, it looked that good 15 years ago. Mm-hmm. Chiseled. Right. And his facials, I mean, his facials are amazing. The stuff he's done in recent weeks with Eric and how they've had to kind of disband a little bit, but they're actually coming back together again. And, of course, Joe Doring, that's, again, what I love about Impact. Joe Doring's got to go and take care of himself right now. Yeah. And if anyone doesn't know, they have a T-shirt on sale. I'm waiting on mine to show up.
I'm waiting on mine to show up, too, yeah.
There you go. It's $30. It all goes to Joe Doring. He's dealing with the second round of cancer. He's already kicked its ass once. And I'll tell you what, seeing that man in person, I don't think I've ever seen a larger human being in person in my life. He is just so big. TV doesn't do him any justice. Yeah. So hopefully he'll be doing very well and back in the ring. They already told him the first time he'd never wrestle again. He proved him wrong then.
Yep.
So It'd be such an inspiration to see him do it a second time. Let's see. Knockouts tag team title, which you want. You have this interesting thing going on where it's like you're fighting a guy to win the title, and now you're tag team partners with Eric Young.
All right, and then they put us together, and then chemistry. I had a blast working with him.
Yeah,
Now,
he just seems like a.
I think I need to make a little appearance back.
Says that you guys actually surpassed the longest title reign that was previously held by the Beautiful People.
Yep.
That's pretty impressive. Yep. So aside from wrestling, and we're about to talk about the book momentarily, but you've also been in a couple of feature films, Death from Above.
It was all right. I mean, I don't want to go into Hollywood or nothing, but I was just an extra, or not extra, but I was what was I? Oh, a gas station clerk.
And what about How to Score Your Life?
I almost forgot about that one. That was shit. I couldn't tell you what that one was about.
All right, well, we do movie reviews of anything wrestling related, so I might have to dig that one up then.
Yeah, forgot about that one. I think it was in New York City.
New York City, okay. So, with wrestling today, where are you at with it? Do you still get in the ring at all?
Nope, I do not wrestle any independent shows. I'm done with that. I do make appearances here and there. The last time I was in the ring was 2020, 2021. No, 2021. About a year or so ago.
And that was Impact, right?
Yep, went back for Impact for like a month or so, and then just now, that I run a food truck, and that's kicking my ass. So yeah, it's
yeah, I meant to get a graphic and I forgot to, but I was looking at your schedule just for this past month on the food truck alone. And you got like a 1985 Hulk Hogan schedule going on here where you got like a morning, a noon, and a night, same day. Then the next day you're in this town. The next day, and I'm thinking to myself, were you that busy traveling when you were in the ring?
I know, right? I think, I'm busier and actually making more money now than I'm not wrestling.
Well, hey, that's a great thing. That truck's got to have some mileage going.
Yes, and we're actually doing another one too, so there's going to be 2 of them. We're doing one next year, so 2023, and they're all going to be in Minnesota though. But
all right, well, everybody's got to head up there and make sure you get some.
Yeah, come get you some.
Do you watch anything currently? Like, are you into Impact still? Do you watch the program?
I watch it like on my phone, or I go on Instagram. I'll see people's stuff, and I don't follow the storylines, but I see it though. Oh, not
anybody today that grabs your attention that you look at and say, "Oh yeah, that one's going to be big."
I like Deanna and Jordan Grace. I like both of them, and I've been in the ring with both of them. Jordan, I think she has a great look, and she's kind of getting to know herself and getting better in the ring every time, and her character charisma is getting out there, and Deanna she's great. I would like her to keep on doing her thing, and and then her and Chelsea Green now. So that's kind of it's cool too, because they're best friends. So it's cool to see that. I like seeing that with the girls are really close, and then they get to wrestle with each other, and then so they got a good group of girls.
Oh yeah, they're again, just the roster in general. There, it's amazing, truly amazing. Yeah. All right, tell us all about the book.
Oh, this one?
That would be the one. Is that mine? It looks like mine. Is that mine?
Come get it. So it's Jessie, Kresa is O.D.B, One Dirty Biatch. It took me about a year and a half to write. I wrote it during COVID. And I went up to Mick Foley when I was in Florida, and he hopped on my truck, and I said, "Mick, I want to write a book, and I need your help." So he's like, "Yeah, let's do it." And so he hooked me up with his publisher, one of his publishers, and we did it. Me and Kenny Casanova wrote it together, and It was fun. It's a very motivational book too. Like I don't have a sad story at all. I have a stop being a little bitch story and be a one dirty bitch.
Yeah.
And it starts from since I was born. Like it just shows how I grew up, high school, college, and the wrestling, and now what I'm doing now, and I leave it hanging. So if it goes good, it could be a part 2.
I can see that happening for sure. So the pre-orders, is that still going on?
That is done now. So you can go to my website, odbsmeetandgreet.com, and get yours. You can get it unsigned or you can have it signed.
There you go. So make sure you guys head over there and check that out.
And I'll also be I'll be making appearances. So I'll be on WrestleCade Thanksgiving weekend in Winston-Salem, and then I'll be on the Chris Jericho cruise in February.
Oh, nice.
And I will have my books with me, so you'll be able to get my book there.
You don't think Chris is going to try and get you to go in the ring?
I don't know. I did send him a book, so you never know.
Did you write anything bad about him in it?
Nope. I only told one person to go after themselves in my book, but you gotta read the book to find out who it is.
Let's play a quick, instead of word association, we'll go with name association. Whoopsie. I think we just lost her. Let's give it a second and see if she comes right back up. Technology. Give us a second. We'll see if we can't bring this back up. I know she's kind of up there in the nature and all that, so the signal might not be so great, but hold on a second. All right, so the pre-order is gone. We'll take that away. See if she can join back in here. We were just getting to the good stuff. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. And as soon as I get her back up here, I'm sure she just bumped a button or something like that. It happens. Take a look at some of these comments. They like, give me a second, and I'm going to try something here, and then we'll be right back and see what we can do.
Now streaming on the Nation Network, PWI Review and Relive, where along with a panel of experts, we take a deep dive into random issues of some of the most recognizable wrestling magazines in history, where contestants go head-to-head and compete in wrestling knowledge to see who will go on to be the reigning champion. Now streaming on Twitch too. Wednesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, only on the Nation Network. You are invited to join us inside the Creator Studio, where we talk with some of your favorite artists from the world of professional wrestling. From your favorite game content creators.
Ever since these games have come out, one thing I've liked about them is just seeing all the random characters in the ring.
I'm a maintenance technician for trade, so really it's all just hobby.
Yeah, it takes time, hours. People people just see the finished product and it's like, oh, you pump out stuff so quickly, but people don't realize. I mean, it's a balancing, you know.
To authors and even in-ring talent and legends of the squared circle.
Bushbreaker here, and he's ready to do a little arm swinging and a lot of ass kicking.
And then it was weird because as I got older, I started doing Macho Man year after year, just different versions of Macho Man, because I started to look like him physically.
And to all your fans out in your nation, we love you, mate. The Bushbreakers love you, and hope to see you around.
You can find them all right here on the Nation Network.
Whoa! Yay!
Your winner and new World Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Champion. Join us for Classic Calls, the live stream that captures the feel of the old days of professional wrestling. With the power of the classic board game Superstar Pro Wrestling, we bring the legends back to life as only we can.
Distracting the referee Valentine. Oh, low blow.
Names like Flair, Funk, Rhodes, Hogan, Snuka, Piper, and many others will rise to glory once again on the only channel that can contain the action, the Nation Network.
Well, I'll tell you what, that was an upset.
Look for it on Saturday evenings at 6:05 Eastern Standard Time.
All right, we are back. I can't even get her on the line. I know she's up in the country area, and you could even hear some of the audio was cutting out on her end. So I've got a funny feeling she may have gotten into a dead zone area. Little disappointed because it was just getting really good, and we were getting ready to turn over to the questions you guys had as well. So I'm going to stick around for a little bit longer here, and hopefully she can rejoin us. But right now, I can't get a response on anything. I tried calling and literally just go straight to the service is not available at the moment message. So I think she's probably just lost her signal from where she's at. Let's see. J-Rock's, of course, in the house. Thank you, buddy. Monstar, welcome aboard. Purist is here. Everything Pro Wrestling, what's happening, buddy? Roger Pace, thank you for being here. Brian Cutler. If she's going to be in next year's Royal Rumble. Dude, I tell you what, if I can get her back on, I'm totally going to ask her that. I could see her doing something like that. I mean, she's not going to get back in the ring and you know, go full bumps or anything, but I could see her doing a quick appearance and maybe knocking one person out and then going out. And that's true. She probably wouldn't be able to tell us if she was going to go into that anyway. Mid-American Wrestling. Ooh, that's good stuff. Wait a minute. D-Train, where the heck have you been?
D-Train
is in the house.
Didn't know if I was going to get to use that. Welcome back. Yeah, we figured it was something, but just didn't want to know you're okay, man. Well, Murphy, thanks a lot. I'm not apologizing for that. I don't know, buddy. I'm alive, and that's the start. Brother, the legendary comedian, whose name I'm now drawing a blank on, George Burns, lived to be like 98 years old. And when he was like in his late 80s, early 90s, he was still doing stand-up, and he'd say the same joke. At my age, when I wake up, first thing I do is I look in the newspaper. I check the obituaries. If I'm not there, I make coffee. I got my coffee. Oh, absolutely, man. We appreciate you. Oh, sadly, it doesn't look like we're going to be able to finish it up tonight. Maybe she'll be able to come on a different day. But by all means, and I'll end up putting the link down below. It's not there at the moment, but feel free. I'll come and put it into the description box in case you didn't catch it. And we will have the link to her site where you can go ahead and download the book. Not download the book, but you can order the book. How's that? That's some good questions, too. I was really looking forward to bouncing some of these off of her. I was just getting ready to go to the name association game. And there's a part of you when she disappears, like, oh, no, she don't want to play the game. Which I don't think that's the case. Where I was just going to throw a bunch of names at her and see, what she says. Just what comes out from that. So we had names like AJ Styles, Gail Kim, Cody Deaner, Eric Young. The one I was kind of curious to hear was Austin Aries, Tara, Velvet Sky, and Angelina Love. Those are the names I was going to throw at her to see what she had to say. Her memories of working with these folks, good, bad, or indifferent. Sounds like there was only really one person that she had an issue with, which if you can have the career she had and come away with just one person, you must be doing something right. I'd like to be able to say that about what I've done in my life, but I can tell you my number is higher than one. All right. Well, unfortunately, it looks like she's not going to be able to rejoin us. I haven't been able to get her on text or on Twitter, and she hasn't been able to rejoin this link, so I've got to believe there's a signal, probably outage or something. I could hear the voice was kind of cutting out on her phone. So, all right. Well, thank you guys so much for being here and being part of this. As always, I do appreciate you guys. And we'll see. Like I said, I'm going to see if I can maybe set up something for another day, and then we can finish that up, and maybe there'll be something else we could talk about. I'm sure there is. No doubt in my mind. She's a lot of fun to talk to, and it was just getting warmed up. Just getting warmed up. To be continued. Like she said, there might be a second edition of the book come out. A part 2. She left it open. So maybe that's what we'll do. All right, you guys, thank you so much for being here. Tomorrow is Wednesday, and Wednesday means we're going to have classic calls, and we'll be streaming that on the YouTube channel as well as Twitch. That's going to start at 6:05 Eastern Standard Time, and tomorrow is going to be classic calls featuring the UWF. So join me for some of that using the Superstar Pro Wrestling game. Then Saturday, once again, we're going to go into PWI R&R. That's been a lot of fun, and we've now got an official game that we play with that. So if you want to test your wrestling knowledge, step into the ring on Saturday, 6:05. We'll have the link posted. You can join in. You don't have to be on camera. It's always nice, but as long as your microphone's working, that's really the only thing we have to have. We've got a point system based on the top 10 lists that go in the magazine. I'm not going to tell you which month or year I pulled, but I've already pulled it. And it is a classic. So you want to brush up. We've got some rules that we've come together to make it really entertaining and interesting. Of course, Wrestling Purist is our current reigning, undisputed, and defending world champion. Can somebody knock him from that title, from that perch? I don't know. Hasn't happened yet. All right, guys, make sure you go ahead and go over to our website. Again, I'll put the link down below in just a little bit. But in the meantime, if you manage to write it down when she was talking about it, go over there, get a copy of this book, because you know it's going to be fun reading. I mean, just the way this went is a pretty good... Oh, wait. Her phone died. I knew it. That explains why the audio was cutting out. Well, we may not be done with this thing yet. That's one thing about these phones, man. When you do video, whether you're streaming like YouTube or any of that, it just eats up a battery. Yeah, Purist, I might do a part 2 if we can't make it happen tonight. But now that she's got her phone at least up, I don't know if she's got it plugged in or what the deal is there. I'm waiting to see if she can rejoin, though. Whoa, what just happened? Oh, my light went out. Everywhere you turn. Ace Goodhart, what's up? Like I said, we're going to give her another minute or so here and see if she's able to rejoin. Gotta love technology nowadays, don't you? Oh, she's writing back. Let's see what she says. 6% battery. All right. Yeah, she's down to 6%, so there's no way, and she doesn't have a way to recharge it at the moment because she's in her vehicle and doesn't have a charger. I was going to let her know that if she decided that they wanted to get married in Vegas, that we knew somebody that could do the ceremony. And I had a clip of Macho Man from our interview with him where he mentions the fact that he's an ordained minister, and I was going to play that for her to see if that would be somebody she'd be interested in getting married by. But like I said, we'll have to save it for another day. All right, everybody. Once again, thank you for joining us. Right here has been the Nation Network, and this has been the premiere episode of what is now referred to as The Rub. Get out there. Make sure you pick up a copy of that book for your very own collection, because I can tell you right now it is going to be a very entertaining read, and I am looking forward to it immensely. Stay safe, and I will see you guys tomorrow for Classic Calls right here on the Nation Network.